What's up everybody, it's Joe here with Joseph Blake Photography, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you an in-depth review of the iSteady X3 SE phone camera gimbal. So again, I'm Joe, this is my channel Joseph Blake Photography, where we talk about tech and news and gear and reviews. And sometimes we go on adventures. If that's the kind of thing that you're into, I'd appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and hit like at the end of the video if you thought that it was helpful. But today, let's jump into talking about this gimbal. Now, this gimbal is made by a company called Hohem. They did not pay me for this review. They did send me this product, though I am not going to be keeping it. And this is the X3, the iSteady X3 SE. We'll talk a little bit about the SE designation in just a couple of minutes, but I want to run you through some of the specifications on this guy right here. So number one, this is a 3-axis gimbal for most modern smartphones. So right now I have my iPhone 16 Pro Max in here. You can see it fits just fine, no problem there. But it is a 3-axis stabilizing gimbal for pan, roll, and tilt. It can do negative 120 to 210 degrees on the pan, negative 195 to 135 on the roll, and negative 35 to 45 on the tilt axis. Weight-wise, this thing is coming in at an extremely light 361 grams, and the payload capacity is 300 grams. Although, again, any real modern smartphone should fit without any problem. I think this is one of the larger phones that you can get, and I've had no problem with it. I've been playing with this thing for like 2 months. This review is actually super late because I've been super busy, but I've been actually playing with this thing for a couple of months. I did my iPhone 16 Pro Max review using this gimbal, and I've been using it to shoot behind the scenes footage. So as I'm shooting clients, I like to put behind the scenes footage on my Instagram, so clients get to kind of look at what it looks like to have a session with me. And this thing has been awesome to do that. I just throw it on the ground, or throw it on a fence post, or throw it on the top of a tripod, and boom, it'll track me, it'll take video. It's awesome to use. It does have an 1100 milliamp or 11-hour battery, and it does support quick charge up to 100% in 2 hours. And while you have it in your hand, you basically have every possible control. You can do really anything that you can do with any of the buttons on the gimbal, you can do just with this remote as you're kind of walking around. I normally set this thing down and put this in my pocket and just kind of walk away. But speaking of the controls on here, in addition to the little joystick, which you can see me playing with right now, which is just super fun. And these movements are really smooth. This is actually really quite nice. The mode button also, kind of with a double tap, you can switch it to the horizontal mode and then back to the vertical mode, depending on how you're choosing to shoot. The other thing you do is you hit it again. So technically there's 3 modes, but there's really a 4th mode. And the 4th mode is the lock mode. And lock mode, it doesn't move at all. Like you can see, it's not rotating, it's not spinning, nothing, right? So you have pan, roll, and tilt with those 3 other modes, right? So in one, you've got pan is the only thing unlocked, the other one pan and roll, and the other one pan, roll, and tilt. This one, everything is locked. There is no pan, there is no roll, there is no tilt. It just stays locked in, right? Which is really nice. It does come with this little tripod dock here, which allows you to just kind of set it down like that. But it does have a standard 1/4 inch on the bottom, so you can easily put a plate on this or any sort of adapter and just throw this onto your tripod. If you want to get super crazy like me and you have like 2-sided 1/4 inch mounts, you can put it on your camera. Okay, everybody's use case for this is going to be just a little different. Again, I mentioned that like one of the things that I've been playing with on this is the ability to do some behind the scenes. If you double tap the power button also, it just kind of goes to sleep. And then you tap it back again and it comes back to life. Okay. This is probably a little crazy, right? Yeah. But you know, if you're doing behind the scenes footage, that's one way to do it. I just think this is cool. Okay, enough shenanigans. But again, then you just kind of put the little tripod foot back on there. But like if you had an Arca Swiss plate or something, you could easily put that right in there and then do it. One more thing to mention for those of you who are adventurers like myself, where you're going to find yourself in maybe some pretty warm or pretty cool conditions. This thing is rated for -10°C up to 45°C, which is basically just like around 20 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to like 110 or 115 Fahrenheit. So really cold and really, really hot. But what I would say is that 50% of the review of this is the kind of design and feature set. The other 50% is actually the app. Hohem has their own app called Joy. And some of the features that you get on there are actually pretty cool. One is the tracking feature. You just drag a square around whatever it is you want to track. Normally that's going to be yourself if you're doing some, behind the scenes like I've been doing. And it will track that subject. It doesn't do a phenomenal job if you walk out of frame. It just kind of reverts back to where you are. But while you're in the frame, honestly, it's pretty phenomenal at doing that. And I've been really impressed for the price of what this thing is, right? Especially considering the fact that you can also still use the remote to do some of the other things in the app, like taking photos, starting recording, stopping recording. You can do all the things that you can do with the trigger, right? So you can do the whole spin around bit. All of that stuff with the remote. You can switch landscape, right? Because it's the same controller that you would normally use, it's just a remote. And then inside the Joy app, in addition to being able to take pictures and start recording and stop recording, you also can access their zoom feature. The zoom feature only works in the Joy app. There is a zoom here on the side, right? There's a little dial, and that works really well in the Joy app. But again, if you are looking to do it remotely in the Joy app, you can also use this guy. So that app gives you access to pretty much all the features inside the app, as well as tracking. The other really cool thing that you get is you get a panorama mode, you also get a time-lapse mode, and you get these templates. So they create these storyboard templates that you can access. Again, this is free, and you can use those templates to get ideas for shots. The app has them in a storyboard, and it will literally run through them for you. And then you can edit that and make changes and do that. And so there's inspiration, there's storyboards, and there's templates that you can create and build. And it's free. But speaking of price, right now, I think this is normally $89. It's $50 right now. It's $51. Like, it's $50. And I think we all know that with kind of recent iterations of both the iPhone and any of the Samsung phones, or the Google Pixel phones, that there's some really cool photo and cinema features in these cameras, especially in the iPhone. If you're the type of person who likes to attach, for example, cinematic anamorphic lenses for $50, if this is the camera you have, which is a phenomenal camera, whether it's for stills or for video, and you add for $50, you add this thing, like, you've significantly upgraded your cinematography capability, both from the standpoint of shooting, if you're shooting for YouTube and you're shooting wide, right? Or you're shooting, landscape, you've got stabilized shots. If you are shooting vertical video and you're doing, shorts and reels, and you want to have access to, right, all the stabilized goodness that you would get from looking this way, then boom, you have it here. And with the phone and the gimbal, you're at like 600 grams max. Honestly, I've been super impressed. I've been editing in video of shots that I've taken for behind the scenes, some of the B-roll that I've got of just how this thing works, how smooth this thing can be when you're just chasing, I chase my kids around with this thing. Because honestly, this is easier to chase my kids around with than this. Or even if I put this on a gimbal, like, that's heavy. And right? I love a smooth gimbal shot. Sometimes that's a lot of work, and you just got your phone and you just want to be able to take it and grab it. Now this is the SE version, as I mentioned, and this is the less expensive version. The difference between, and by the way, here's how it kind of folds down, right? So that's the whole thing. It's teeny tiny. I can fit it in my jacket pocket. Boom, it's in my jacket. Right. This is the iSteady X3 SE. The non version is a little heavier, and it has a built-in like tripod mount that comes out, and it has a telescoping, like this comes out. For 50 bucks, honestly, you can't beat it. And I'm gonna be doing more with my phone, I think, when I have this, because take a look at this thing. I'll get some links down below to take a look at it if you're interested. Also, don't forget about my Instagram giveaway. I'm giving away a ton of gear. I get gear like this to review. Go ahead and check out this video right here where I explain the entire giveaway, how to get entered, and how to potentially go shopping in my gear vault. Run around with my kids, and I'm taking this thing with me because honestly, it's a beautiful day outside. So this thing's gonna get me outside more. All right, thanks everybody for watching. If this was something that you're into, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you thought that this was informative and helpful, please hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.